station, 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening. We start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company all night long. We are 92.3 Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dio.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info in Herringport, Harcourt. I'm Dio. 11 minutes gone past 3 p.m. And the conversation is officially started on today's edition of the show. The first in this week, yesterday's, as Monday, is the start to the working week. I hope you had a fine weekend. I did. A little too much fun, actually, I do confess. But it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. Spent some good quality time with some good people, with good people. It was fun. It was great. Yeah, you know how it is that you have a conversation with some person and you leave the conversation and you just feel better. You just feel like you had a conversation, something you just had a moment that improved you in some way. Yeah. I had me one of those over the course of the weekend, and it was quite nice actually. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you had an even better weekend myself than I did, and I hope that the start to the working week has been a truly productive one for you, and things are looking up also. And once again, we are in the month of December after all. The end of the year is here, and you probably, when you try to do some stock taking, feel like maybe not necessarily so, but maybe you feel like there was something yet to accomplish, something you've not realized yet, and you might be in a hurry to see if you can salvage something or salvage the situation before the year officially comes to a close. Well, nothing wrong with trying to salvage things, but don't be in too much of a hurry. And be responsible for yourself and for others also. Okay, so do take some extra precaution. Do take care on the roads. Be careful, even at home as well. Domestic accidents are rife, and possibly this time of the year as well. And I don't think it's village people who are behind it. I think it just might be careless with the gas cylinder because we're rushing off to do something else. So let's take it easy and stay in one piece. This year may need some salvaging, but even if you don't salvage it, there's always next year. Just take it easy. So welcome once again. From now till 7, we keep the conversation going. Some matters are up for discussion on the show today. We'll get to them in a moment. Yes, we will. Oh, yeah. Speaking of matters on the show today, I do have side comments in a moment. Random stories and random thoughts, which will not be discussed now. Then I have a rant coming up. That's something in my mind. I'll express some major thoughts on that, and I don't mind getting your take on that till 4 p.m. Now, at 4, we've got the business news coming up, and after that, we delve into some other matter. A most unfortunate recent development has got the entire country talking about safety of children in schools. Yeah, and it's a conversation that must be had indeed. There's several stories that have broken as regards in relation to this matter since it first became public knowledge. But here is one of the stories, and you very likely may have heard about it. I think you formed the pages of discussion on the Morning Crossfire today, and several other shows, media outlets, I believe, are having similar discussions and conversations. Well, here's one of the published stories by the nation on the matter: controversy over death of student at Darwin College. A storm has broken out over the death of Sylvester Morning, a 12-year-old student of Darwin College, Lekki, Lagos, on Tuesday. While the family is alleging foul play, the school authorities claimed the boy got injured playing football. Now, Lagos State government has quickly stepped in by instituting a probe and shutting down the school indefinitely. Now, the incident is also drawing reactions from a cross-section of Nigerians. Well, the Lagos State government on Friday, indefinitely shut down Dowen College following the controversies surrounding the deaths of the students. A closure followed a visit by the Education Commissioner and other top officials of the Lagos State Ministry of Education to the school on Friday. Well, you know the story. The parents got called, but that he was in a school clinic or something like that, or in some health facility, and claimed that he got injured while playing football. Well, the parents got the boy picked up from school, taken to a hospital, and his condition looked a lot more severe than something that could have been contracted while playing football. Allegations are that some other students, seniors at the school, beat him up and possibly fed him some chemical substance, and this was all in retaliation for his insistence on not joining a cult group, allegedly, of course. And the beating and the trauma and all of it allegedly led to his death. And right now investigations are ongoing, and there's lots of accusations and counter accusations and demand for justice and all of that. We'll take a look at this incident and others like it as well. Are children safe in schools? Really, are they? It's a very important matter, I do believe. And how can students get the care, attention and education for which they attend school? Because that's why they attend school, to get an education. And to get that, they must be cared for, and they must be attended to. They must receive some attention from the school authorities and the management as well. So, how can we ensure this happens without endangering the lives of the children while they're away from home or from their parents or guardians? We'll look at this in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. My guest is Kamal Ahmed, his principal, Bloomsbury High School here in Port Harcourt. That comes up till about 5 o'clock. It's about 4 till 5. 5, we've got the news update coming up, and we move on. Still education related, is another ASU strike on the horizon. Do you think? Maybe we could take bets on this one. Really. Anyways, that's a story from The Punch. ASU's ultimatum to FGN's lecturers say demands unmet. You can find details in The Punch newspaper, as you can. Well, let's take a look at some of that story right now before proceeding. The federal government has begun moves to prevent an industrial action in the country's public universities as the Academic Staff Union of Universities' 3-week deadline ended on Sunday. The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Inuwajiba, in an interview on Sunday, said the ministry had written a letter to the Ministry of Finance on the payment of allowances to staff of universities. But the union told one of our correspondents that government had only met one of its demands, ASU had on November 15, given the federal government a 3-week ultimatum over government's failure to meet its demands. The lecturers threatened to embark on another round of industrial action following government's unfaithfulness to the implementation of the memorandum of action it signed with the union, upon which last year's strike action was suspended. I'm absolutely shocked, by the way, that the federal government did not uphold this memorandum of action. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I am surprised. Back to the story. After the union's National Executive Council meeting at the University of Abuja on November 13 and 14, as the president, blah blah blah, and it goes on and on. But what I'm asking is, do you think another ASU strike inevitable? How do you think this is going to play out? As it has played out in previous times, or you think this one's going to be different? I'd like to get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour, after the updates, of course. Headlines at 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. Open season comes after that, till about 7, when the show officially comes to an end today. So that's it for today's Hard Facts. If there are any changes, you will be notified as long as you stay tuned. But for the moment, how about we get things going with today's side comments. Random stories and random thoughts of mine which would not be discussed at this time. And an optometrist, Stella Maris Jogu, says complaints of swollen, itchy, and irritating eyes are on the rise in Port Harcourt due to the prevalence of soot particles in the air. Dr. Maris explained that when soot particles come in contact with the eyes, it causes hypersensitivity. And she spoke to our correspondent on this matter. Just a moment. Let's hear what she has to say. Aha.
Whenever the eyes come in contact with objects that are not supposed to be in the eye, the mast cells begin to fight because it's the body's soldier cells. So when this happens, we have what we call hypersensitivity reaction. The eye begins to react violently. So we've been having a lot of this case in Port Harcourt. I have patients who come and they're like, oh, I have been out of town and I just came in like a week ago and my eyes are irritated, itchy, red, water coming out and all that. So an unchecked has what we call hypersensitivity reaction. The eye begins to react violently. So we've been having a lot of this case in Port Harcourt. I have patients who come in and they're like, oh, I have been out of town and I just came in like a week ago and my eyes are irritated, itchy, red, water coming out and all that. So and on checking, sometimes you may notice that, well, there is no bacterial infection.
No, but now Dr. Salamaris Jobu also advised Rivers residents to use eyeglasses to wear them regularly to reduce the effect of the soot on the eyes. But Dr. Stella Maris, I don't know what we can possibly do about this situation. Because, I mean, obviously, we all know there's nothing the Rivers State government can do about this. Allegedly, because soot reportedly is on the exclusive list. Reportedly, soot is on the exclusive list. And also, reportedly, from some research conducted by the Rivers State government some time ago, soot is also caused by the burning of cows. Yep, cow meat. You better believe it's cow meat and goat meat. And as long as we all now, if you think about it, really, the times are bad right now because Christmas is around the corner. December, we are in December. The year is coming to an end. What that means is a lot more festivities. Yeah, you know what comes with festivities? People will eat a lot more. You know what they also eat a lot more of during festivities? They eat a lot of meat. Yep, a lot more cows and goats and lambs are going to get slaughtered this period. A lot more suya is going to be consumed. And let's throw in the chickens and the turkeys as well. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing because it means we're going to burn a lot more cow meat and goat meat and ram meat because we're going to bring a lot more of this. And that means very likely, based on the River State government's research work, that the soot is going to be on the rise. Oh my, what are we going to do? I mean, on one hand, it's on the exclusive list. On the other hand, throw in ram and goat meat and cow meat burning as well. Goodness gracious, we are doomed. If only there was something that we could do. Oh well. I got a comment via WhatsApp. Ucho Keke goes, I'm a pharmacist and I just recovered from this. The burning sensation in the eye was terrible. Please invite the optometrist to talk more on this. Okay, I just told you, really, is there any hope in sight? We're going to burn a lot more cow meats during this period, so I don't know really if there's anything that can be done. I remember once again, we have been told persistently by the River State government, it's on the exclusive list. So, doom, I suppose. Anyways, the after conversation. Okay, well, that's about that. Let's see what has caught my attention on the news earlier on today. I think there were a couple of items on the news from earlier on that did catch my attention. I'm quite certain of that. Very unfortunate story. This one. 8 children were found dead in a Lexus SUV parked in front of the owner's house along the Dagger Expressway in Lagos on Saturday. Now, according to reports, the vehicle is owned by one Saliat Kazim, who parked the vehicle in front of her house. The vehicle reportedly had a child lock feature and could only be opened from outside. The children, who were between the ages of 4 and 6, were found dead by a parent who was looking for her ward. The Lagos State Police spokesperson confirmed the incident, saying an investigation has been launched into the incident. Very unfortunate indeed. 8 children, oh my. So please, also, accidents don't just happen while you're in a vehicle on a highway. No, while you're driving or something. No, accident could happen even if your car was stationary, not on any highway, and not even being rammed into by another vehicle. No, so if you're going to lock children or put children in a vehicle, even if you're going to lock the doors, ensure that there is enough ventilation, there is air available for them to breathe. You know, it's very, very sad indeed, very sad. And Governor yesterday weekend has promised to give 50 million naira and lecturing appointment to physically challenged student James Daniel for graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy at the River State University. Governor Wike made the promise at the 33rd convocation ceremony of the university on Saturday. He said the honor is in recognition of his academic excellence. He said Dr. Daniel has also inspired other persons living with disabilities. Congratulations to Dr. James Daniel for graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations. It doesn't matter what the person's physical or health status. I mean, it's no mean feat. I imagine it may have been tougher due to some physical challenges, but congratulations to you. You did it. Thumbs up. And now a special appeal to His Excellency the River State Governor. Your Excellency, sir. We know you are a Tokonadu governor, as they say. POS Africa and the likes. Mr. Project, Mr. Incredible Project. Your Excellency, it is not that I am doubting. Your Excellency, be it far from me to doubt or to think that this thing you have said now. I am not even saying, I'm not even thinking it, Excellency, but they have some people who are trying to malign Your Excellency's image have suggested in the past, even though nobody believes that you have some things you have said before. Those things that you did not. They said that's what these people said. These detractors, the detractors said you did not do it, like the one you promised Joe Blankson's family. Those detractors sponsored opposition by the enemy, sponsored by ISIS and Hezbollah as well, said you did not give the endowment. That's what they said. That's what they said. And there have been some other ones that they said, but everybody knows that they are just sponsored. So, Your Excellency, I urge you to ensure there can be no sponsorship this time around, whether it is international sponsorship or local sponsorship, Your Excellency. So let's just make sure that with this sponsored people are not able to distract us and malign our good image any longer. So this 50 million, let's give it to Dr. James Daniel, Your Excellency. Exactly. Let's ensure he has it, and let's transfer it to his account directly. Let's not ask any SA or PA to facilitate anything, because sometimes repeatedly, also these sponsor people are the ones that said this also. Sometimes when SAs and PAs I asked to facilitate these things, magic, that's what they said. They said magic used to happen. But of course, we don't believe all these sponsored reports by sponsored opposition. So let's ensure that Dr. James Daniel gets this 50 million, Your Excellency, and that he gets the lecturing job as well, as Your Excellency has said. And after that, I imagine that Dr. James Daniel can spare a few thousands and his people as well to thank His Excellency for choosing their son for this great honor. All right, to wrap up the side comments right now, a commenter via WhatsApp. Someone says, hope this one is not audio money. Your Excellency, you see, one of the sponsored people is sending WhatsApp message already. We know they are sponsored. Let's not give them room for sponsorship. Finally, a call to the River State Internal Revenue Service, and here's hoping that the issues concerning the sale of tickets or collection of taxes from commercial transporters in the state has been resolved. Let's not go back to the era where we hired thugs or criminals in the name of consultants or contractors or whatever, and we have people smashing windshield, beating people up and fighting people on the roads to sell tickets. Why should the RIRS be in any way connected with NURTW members in the guise of collecting ticket money on your behalf? Such a thing should not be in any way linked to the River State Internal Revenue Service. So I hope that those in charge right now Mr. Holu and his aides are looking into this situation. We can't afford to go back to that era. I thought the RIRS had done everything possible to ensure we transit from that era of employing thugs to beat people into collecting all kinds of fees or levies, both legal and illegal. Let's move forward. We shouldn't be going back to the dark days. So I hope that's going on. I hope there's some interface ongoing. I hope that some of the technological innovations brought on by the RIRS as well to improve the situation, like the scratch card uncle, unifying these taxes. I hope we're not throwing all that away. I really hope so, because they were brilliant ideas. The RIRS did seem to be on the right path, on the right course. I hope we don't throw all of that progress away. Alright, that's it for side comments. I'll go for a break now. When I return to this round, thumbs up, do please stay with us.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dio.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Facts at 92.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. I'd like to rant for just a bit. It's 24 minutes ago before 4 p.m. There's something in my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts in it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Now, I came across a story in the papers earlier on today, and interestingly, when I saw this article, it was after I had decided what my rant was going to be on. So it's not like one led to the other. but I had decided what the rant was on already. And then as I checked out the dailies online, I saw this other piece, this article, and I figured, and it was just pretty interesting because it kind of connected to the subject of my rant today, or the story that inspired my rant today. So I figured I was going to read a bit of that first before delving into the story for today's rant. So here's the story I came across earlier on today from the Vanguard newspaper. State of the Nation, Head of Service calls for accountability in leadership roles. Remarkable stuff, really. And here's the story. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Adedayo Elusakin, has called for accountability in all spheres of leadership. Now, she made the call at the 3rd anniversary and ordination of 14 deacons pastors of the Exousia Church of God Abuja. According to her, God will hold accountable leaders who misuse their leadership in any position they find themselves. Well, I don't know if God is going to do that for certain, but one thing is certain: the people can hold government's leadership, or rather hold government accountable, or hold people who occupy leadership roles and leadership positions accountable. But if God really does hold accountable leaders, then God should do it very quickly. And if God is not too busy, by the way, I know, I mean, there's lots of stuff to deal with. About 7 billion human beings, and with all the kind of crises that's happening the world over, wars, strife, violence here and there, and reports have it that ours is not the only universe, that there are several other universes, if you know anything about the multiverse theory. And there are some beliefs as well, scientific beliefs, that we might not be alone, and there could be other life forms in other galaxies or other universes for that matter. So God definitely has a lot on his hands, doesn't he? He's got a lot to deal with. So if God is not too busy right now attending to all of these issues he has to the world over, and in different galaxies and universes and all of that, my God, just take a moment, a few minutes to visit the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH, and demand some accountability over there. Can God just take a few moments, just a few moments out of his very busy schedule, and just pay a visit? Just visit them at UPTH and ask some questions regarding the subject matter of accountability. Yep, accountability. Now, you may have heard about it. UPTH denies misappropriating 950 million naira COVID-19 intervention fund. Oh yeah, oh yes. A minister was there quite recently at UPTH. Minister of that's the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning. He visited UPTH to check out what they're doing in terms of COVID-19. Do they have an isolation center? Did they buy equipment? Because some amount of money, 950 million naira, as part of a COVID intervention fund, was given to UPTH to fund COVID-19 treatment, basically. So the minister went there to see what they have done with this 950 million naira, to demand some accountability. And here is from the minister's visit what you're about to listen to. And this is courtesy TVC, by the way. But you can't watch it, obviously. TVC being a TV station. But here's the audio version of this. So remember, once again, it's courtesy TVC. Do please stay tuned. We'll be right back in a bit.
Still talking about the virus, the Ministry of Budget and National Planning says it will conduct a thorough investigation into the use of 950 million naira COVID-19 response fund released to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Mr. Clem Agba disclosed this during on the sport assessment of the hospital's facilities in Port Harcourt. Our correspondent Uche Okoro reports.
The Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, was in Port Harcourt to interact with beneficiaries of the federal government Economic Sustainability Plan. Part of his activities was a visit to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital that had so far received 950 million naira from the federal government to build and equip a coronavirus testing and treatment center.
We have released the sum of 950 million for each of the 52 centers to build molecular labs and furnish them, for isolation centers, for 10-bedded ICU units, and for personal protective equipment.
The minister began his tour of the facility but was left disappointed with what he saw.
What you are showing me, I'm disappointed. No, not here. So if it's not part of it, then don't bring me here.
A very important question the honorable minister was asking there, because honorable minister was disappointed with what he was seeing, and then the very brilliant and top academics, professionals, doctors and administrators who were there were then explaining to the minister that this is not the place. This is not the place. And then the minister asked him a very, very crucial question. So if this is not the place, why did you bring me here? I mean, imagine going to a place to see a specific thing. You visit a place because you want, for example, you visit Nigeria Info, and your purpose for coming here is to see our studio. That's why you came. Our management here is aware you're coming to see our studio. Then you arrive at the office here, and then somebody takes you to the toilet. That's something like what happened at UPTH. Let's go back.
There's nothing here showing any form of renovation.
Okay, they renovated the place. They renovated, according to them, but the minister could not see any sign of renovation. Maybe it was a spiritual kind, or maybe they had to first spiritually cleanse the place, carry out a spiritual renovation, because that which is in the physical must first have been dealt with in the spiritual. Are you following me?
The other place is really built for COVID intervention. But we didn't have all these PPE for you to enter, so we can go there now.
He insisted that the funds had not been judiciously used compared to some other teaching hospitals and federal medical centers.
In other words, there is a standard. He had seen what some other places had done with 950 million naira, but he was not seeing anything at UPTH.
52 hospitals across the country also received similar coronavirus intervention fund of 950 million naira each.
The black suit of this was
so is the black suit also affected the beds?
Is the black suit? Oh, you see, that's the problem. You see, people that don't stay in Port Harcourt, they don't know what we are going through. You see, the honorable minister is in Abuja. If only he was staying in Port Harcourt here, he will understand what black suit is doing. Black suit, black suit is a terrorist. Black suit does all kinds of things. Black suit will make you not see renovation work. Black suit can make hospital wards look like dungeons or like prison cells. That's what black suit does. See, when these people who are in Abuja, when they stay in Abuja and they drive around in their bulletproof SUVs and they're breathing clean air and nice air and their eyes do not itchy and so because of the suit, they don't understand what we're facing over here. Only the minister was here who would let black suit cost 950 million to look like it accomplished absolutely nothing.
How do you put up a new building and then put in old things inside? When you
excuse me, Mr. Minister. Excuse me, Minister. I said that there's a very good explanation for that. You see, if I may, this bad thing you are saying, Minister, it's not like that. You see, there's a way things are. You see, you are minister in budgets, and you see, this is medical field, honorable minister. There's a bed to suit ratio, which you don't get, a suit to bed ratio. You see, and if we are unable to meet the bed to suit, you see, this is not the real bed. This is not the real bed, Minister. You see, I will not show you one bed now, and my Oga at the top will say it's a different bed.
You have money to buy the equipment, and you say it's the equipment into different places.
You see, it's sorting, Honorable Minister. You see, sorting is a medical balance. In medicine, we use random scattering. It's called
950 million.
Eventually, he threatened to invite relevant government agencies to investigate the matter.
I will send the Director General. We need to see detailed bill of engineering measurement. We need to look at the list you provided for us, the things you are going to buy. We'll review them. And if it needs bringing in ICPC or AFCC, we'll do so. Because I'm seriously disappointed with what I've seen. I don't see any of our money spent here. There's no intervention here at all.
This is the first visit of the minister to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital since this coronavirus facility was inaugurated in May 2020. Uche Koko, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
All right. Okay, there you have it. But really, it's not like the honourable minister was saying. Really, it's not like that. It's fully. By the way, we have responded. We have responded here because where is that story? Yeah, here we are. Now, Chief Medical Director of UPTH, Henry Goma, at a media briefing in Port Harcourt, said there was no room for misappropriation because the contract to provide equipment for a molecular lab, an ICU unit, an isolation centre, was given to a reputable company. Here we said.
The transfer of money, this is money. It can be seen. It's an electronic transfer. Nobody goes to carry cash and put it in his pocket. And you see the equipment. We have them. The equipment are not cheap equipment. Then you go to ICU. For each bed, you see the ventilator, you see the money. Then go to bottles and plastic. You also see the same thing. Ventilators are money. Go to the wards, like surgery wards, they have monitors and all that provided. In short, we need more now. Because ICU, you see it written, 10-bedded ICU. But we exceeded that. So we need somehow spend extra money if you want to put it that way.
Is it UPTH was so magnanimous that they even went ahead, the CMD of UPTH was so magnanimous that they even allegedly, because I'm wondering where the extra funding would have come from. It's possible that they even taxed themselves. They did a contribution. Everybody give what you have, so we can even exceed what the federal government has asked us to do. That's the level of ingenuity that happens over there. Professor Goma also explained how the 950 million COVID intervention fund was used, including the purchase of over 50 monitors and ventilators.
We have high dependency units in the wards, like surgery wards, internal medicine. We have involved plastic. All of them have monitors and ventilators. And that is why we have application in so many departments. And now we can even do surgeries, neurosurgery, cardiothoracic surgery, closed cardiac surgery. Then for the molecular lab, all the equipment are on ground. Then there are some equipment we already have, chemistry analyzers and all that we didn't think it was necessary to also keep them in the lab. They may get misses. And aside that, we had to also put up a building for a molecular lab. That building also was part of this money, I believe.
By the way, the CMD said they may get missing. I think that's what I heard. But why would they get missing? Really? And where are they supposed to be? Are they not supposed to be in the lab? Really? Also, the UPTH CMD said when the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning visited the isolation centre, it was undergoing decontamination in preparation for patients with the new Omicron COVID-19 variant. That's why we had old beds and the whole place looked rickety and people were talking about suits.
Unfortunately, when the new Omicron COVID virus came about, we decided to ventilate the place. We decided to make sure that the place is ready in case there's a way to admit people. And that informed the head of that place to remove all the beds and bedsheets, to clean the place up. And that may be why the head of that unit was not around to inform the minister what was going on. So we use this opportunity to possibly ask the minister not to be angry that maybe I was not there to do it properly.
Even if the bed sheets have been given to dry cleaner to go and wash, why should the head of the place not be available to give an account that the city honourable minister, we have given the bed sheet, by the way, the dry cleaner can hide the bed sheets. That's why I feel like this, really. But I'm not alleging anything, I'm not insinuating anything. All I'm saying, I'm simply echoing the words of the head of service here in Nigeria for Adedayo Elusakin, who in a church, I think over the weekend, urged accountability in leadership roles. According to her, God will hold accountable leaders who misuse their leadership roles in any position they find themselves. So once again, here is an appeal to God to find some time to pay UPTH a visit and ask them when the dry cleaner, at least, when the dry cleaner will return the bed sheets. On that note, I end my round. Thanks for listening. Hope you weren't bored. Any thoughts about it, Chad? Numbers to the same line: 0817 923 0002 or 0003 or 0007. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria PH. WhatsApp on 0809 0306416. Let's get your take on this. I've got a few more minutes before 4 p.m. Hello, how far to welcome?
Hello, Adedayo. Good evening, sir.
Oh, go on.
I think my name is Naidona calling from Mumbai. I wish you have clapping of hands. We could have clapped for the medical director of UPTH. When somebody did well, we'll clap. He very big soft. I don't know whether UPTH is recently. As I'm to you, I just come back from UPTH, not quite too long. And there was a nurse that was inside my car. When the lady heard this thing, he abused the man and destroyed the man immediately. Because there is no able to go syringe. Single syringe. People are dying. Want people right to me back to your people. Come here. Imagine you run a test for 1 week or two, somebody is dying. Just because of their results. Nothing. I ran a test in UPTH for 1 week or two, somebody is dying. Then you imagine I talking. I know I have not visited COVID-19 where the Honorable Minister. What happened in COVID-19 association? He's happening all the world. Go and check. But I said that I'm just coming out from UPTH. How can you run a test for 1 week or 2 weeks? Somebody is dying. Then the person is mad, is talking.
Nobody knows the money's been embezzled yet, but great to hear from you though. All right, well, nobody knows. I mean, that's why the minister probably said ICPC or EFCC will come in. We don't know for a certainty that the money's been embezzled. Hello, House welcome.
Hello there.
Hello. Hello, 913.
Yeah, well. Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
Hello, can I jump?
Yes, you are live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Then I just want to react to the discussion going on there.
Go ahead.
My name is Man. Are you there?
Go ahead.
Dayo, if you know who the chief medical director is, in fact, I'm sure you saw that. There's no way you can put a politician. Professor Henry Obama is a known politician from America, but done it precisely. You can't be running such a sensitive place with a politician. Every day he's on the media speaking of, APC says and APC did not say. So it's not expected. I mean, it's not surprising that this is what is playing now. I don't think everybody asks the same question. How can a man who is a politician be found as chief director of the University of Port Harcourt? He should go and do politics. I'm not to stay in that position and do kind of things he's doing. I don't want to use very nasty words. But I'm telling you, everybody listening to this program knows that Henry Obama is a politician. He shouldn't be a chief director of the state. This is playing with people's lives. It's unfortunate. It's not, I'm not going to let the minister come and say, but the minister, she should know that Henry is not the right person to be in that position.
All right, great to have me as well. Chris, I think via Facebook, Egbe Ize Omoregi goes, this will be swept under the carpet because it's a party sin. It's a shame. I hope we won't blame the North. Gospel Chimelim Walker goes down. If the money was actually allocated to UPTH, the management and those responsible for the receipt of that money should be held accountable. The difference is the fact that the minister had a free suit eyes, having come from Abuja and therefore was seeing double. PH eyes is different from Abuja eyes. Hello, how can you welcome?
Yeah,
Yes, you want, go ahead.
my name is Mahalai. I'm calling from
Go ahead, please.
Definitely, let's just something about the UPTH. We took one of our friends down here, only to find out that even in the place of that, you also in UPTH. I don't know what they are doing there, whether they are joking or they are playing. I don't know. Government just goes down that hospital. I don't know what they are doing. They are not live at all. They are not.
The incident that took place at UPTH is indeed highly hysterical. That man should be properly investigated. It's only God Almighty that will help us in this country over misappropriation of public funds by these so-called public office holders. Quite unfortunate, Christopher Barrett sat that in. Let's see. Hello, Doc. CMD is more concerned about politics than his job of managing that hospital. We're not surprised. David from Industry Road said that in. Dial, that's at 950 million, entered the voicemail. Why was the chief medical director not available during the minister's visit? Did he allegedly go hiding during the visit? Minister came and told nothing, but the medical director said it did more than expected. The kind of drama isn't new, but it sounded coming in a sector that deals with the lives of humans. That's my day. Well, that's a wrap now. Once again, I hope God will visit UPTH soon, or at least somebody will go there and demand some accountability and ask what happened to the 950 million. That's a wrap for now. We got business news shortly. Are children safe in our schools? We'll discuss that when I return. Please stay with us.